Alright, here's how you meal prep cauliflower. Oftentimes you'll find cauliflower at the grocery store wrapped in a plastic bag like this. First, what you're going to do is tear open the bag. Next, oftentimes you'll find that there's these green leaves at the bottom of the cauliflower. You can discard those. I like to just use my hands for this part. Okay, next you're going to want to cut the cauliflower in half. You're going to cut it vertically in half. This way we can cut out the really hard core that's in the center of this. So I like to use a big chef's knife. This is my Wusthof 8-inch chef's knife. I'll share a link in the description below of where you can purchase this on Amazon. So what you're going to do is using the claw like this with your hand. You don't ever want to have your fingers out like this while you're chopping with a big knife because you can cut off your fingertips and fingernails. So you always want to use the claw. Using the claw, I'm going to hold the cauliflower and make sure that it's sturdy. Then with my big chef's knife, I'm going to incision a little bit. Then I'm going to put my hand on the top and just with one swift motion cut the whole cauliflower in half. So this is what that inside of the cauliflower looks like. This part right here is a really tough core. It's not very edible, so it's best to cut that out. And here's how you do that. The best way I found to do this is to take the knife, holding the cauliflower steadily, make a triangle incision on both sides. So I'm going to cut down 1, 2, and I basically just cut out that really tough part. And you can discard that as well. Then you can tear off any remaining pieces of the core and any remaining leaves. And now you have your cauliflower ready to break into sections or slice. I'll show you how to do both. So if you want to slice this to make cauliflower steaks, you do the same thing. Hold the cauliflower with your claw-shaped hand. Then you're going to use your knife. I like to cut steaks about 3/4 of an inch or a 1/2 inch thick, so just cut down. And if they break apart, that's okay. They're going to break apart more as you go down to the back of the cauliflower, but that's okay. Do the best that you can. Okay, and here's how you make flat pieces of cauliflower. These are great for roasting in the oven. When you have a big baking sheet, you can put these on the oven baking sheet and they will nicely sear on each side as it roasts in the oven. Okay, another preparation for cauliflower that doesn't require much cutting except for cutting out the core. Actually, I'm going to show you how to do this without even having to cut the core out. So what you're going to do is if you want to break this into florets, which are these little pieces here, you simply take your hand like this, put your thumb there, and break off a cauliflower floret. Then you can also take this with your hands and break it even smaller into smaller and smaller pieces depending on what size cauliflower you want. This is a great preparation if you're making buffalo cauliflower or cauliflower dippers because then you can hold these easily in your hand. So here's a nice version of the cauliflower. And that's how you meal prep a cauliflower. All right, to prepare our air fryer cauliflower, I simply prepped our cauliflower into florets like this. I gave them a little bit of a rinse with some fresh water and I placed them into this large mixing bowl. Now the seasonings for this is going to be very simple. It's only 2 ingredients, one of which is optional. The optional ingredient is olive oil. If you want this to be oil-free, you don't have to do this. Instead, just add a little bit of water. I'm just going to drizzle some olive oil on the top of this here. You don't need a whole lot. That was probably about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And the one ingredient that I like to season the air fryer roasted cauliflower with is ground cumin seed. For some reason, I've tried to flavor this roasted cauliflower with a variety of other seasonings, but I always go back to the ground cumin. And I don't even need to add salt. I, for some reason, just really have enjoyed the ground cumin, and everyone I serve this dish to really loves it as well. So all you're going to do is sprinkle some cumin on top to coat it. You don't need a whole lot. This is probably about 1 teaspoon for 1 head of cauliflower, maybe a little bit more depending on how much seasoning you like. Then with clean hands, I'm just going to go ahead and toss all of this around with the cauliflower, making sure to coat it in the olive oil and the cumin. You also want to add a tiny bit of water to this. I have enough water already coating the cauliflower from rinsing it, but if you haven't done that, then go ahead and add about a 1/4 cup of water to the bowl. That will help keep your cauliflower moist while it's roasting. All right, next we're going to dump this mixture into our air fryer. I've already prepared my air fryer compartment here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour a good amount of this in. I don't think my air fryer can cook all of this at once, so I'm going to do this in 2 batches. I'm just going to take the cauliflower and flatten it against the bottom of the air fryer, like so, and then let's go over to my air fryer and start the roasting. All right, now we're going to go ahead and slide this basket into the air fryer. We're going to set this to 370 degrees for 11 minutes. Halfway through the cook time, we're going to open the air fryer and shake it around so that the cauliflower can cook evenly. And I'll show you that part next. Okay, here's what the cauliflower looks like after about 5 minutes in the air fryer. I'm just going to take the basket and toss it around like that and then pop it back in. Here's what the cauliflower looks like after 11 minutes in the air fryer. I have a lot of cauliflower in this basket, so I'm just going to add another 3 to 4 minutes, and that should be enough time for making this nice and crispy. All right, and there's the finished air fryer roasted cauliflower. If you like it even more roasted, you can keep going, but this is kind of about the texture that I like. Next, I'll show you how I like to serve this dish. For serving this air fryer cauliflower, I like to portion it onto a plate like this, and then I have a little serving dish on the side for dipping sauce. And one of my favorite, easiest dipping sauces for this dish is just this vegan mayo from Trader Joe's. It's made with avocado oil, and it has a really delicious flavor. I don't have to do anything except for scoop this out of the jar and put it onto the serving dish, and it's just really delicious with this cauliflower. You can also enjoy this plain or with hot and sweet and sour sauce or any other sauce that you enjoy, but that's how I like to serve it. And there's the air fryer cauliflower. This just took less than 20 minutes to roast in the air fryer and is a delicious side dish. It's also a really great snack, and sometimes it's even just a full meal for me. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more meal prep tips, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.